I swear Sony is trying to destroy the Spider-Man franchise because now they won their battle against the MCU and Spider-Man 4 looks like it's going to be a multiverse-based story. There's multiple ways they can go about this and honestly, I don't like any of the options. Let me explain. First option for how this can be a multiversal film is in the same way Spider-Man No Way Home is. It's you bring back Tobey and Andrew again to have their Peter Parkers team up with Tom Holland, and I honestly think this is likely what Sony is pushing for to happen the most. Which I mean, I guess you can't really blame Sony because I saw the $1.9 billion that Spider-Man No Way Home made, and they probably think that if they just do this again, they can just print the same amount of money. But the thing is, they don't understand you need to build up to these things. Spider-Man No Way Home made that much money because it was such a special event. There were so many months of anticipation and rumors around, oh my god, are we finally going to see these two Spider-Man return in their role? And yes, if we saw them again in Spider-Man 4, it would definitely be cool in a way, but it definitely would not have the same momentum or box office draw as the first time we saw it. The second possibility is that Sony's going to just jam their villain universe they're building with characters like Venom, Morbius, Kraven the Hunter, and some of the other ones and make it a new Sinister Six movie, but with all the Sonyverse villains, which I think would be a major mistake. First of all, 90% of these Sonyverse movies outside of like the first Venom film are kind of absolute garbage, so that's a lot of bad movies that people would have to watch to learn more about these characters before seeing them in Spider-Man 4. But another problem is that these characters aren't even really their true villain form because they're making them in a universe that doesn't have a Spider-Man, so they're really more anti-heroes or closer to heroes than anything else, and I really don't want to see these versions in the other thing. Like I said, I do like this version of Venom, but I would rather the MCU just do its own thing with all these characters. But we did get a report a couple weeks ago saying that Sony now has something in their contract saying that the MCU can't use any Marvel Spider-Man characters that they have already used in a film, which could be why they're pumping out these solo movies even though they're garbage and not making money at the box office. They're almost maybe forcing the MCU to use their versions, which is honestly just super shady. The third option is that you combine all three of the Spider-Man and all the Sony villains, having them fight the Sinister Six, but the thing is, this is very similar to what we had in Spider-Man No Way Home itself. Like, yes, the villains would be different. It wasn't necessarily the Sinister Six in No Way Home, but it was very close, honestly, with the different villains they were fighting at the end there, and I don't want to see that same thing again. And again, I think the box office draw is really what's making Sony do this. The movie's also coming out in between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War, so it's probably going to have some huge ties to other Avengers films too, because when Far From Home came out after Endgame, it was the first Spider-Man movie to make $1 billion. This is really disappointing to me because if you watched any of my future movie rankings about different superhero movies or even the Marvel ones, Spider-Man 4 has literally been towards the very top of my list on all of them because I've been so excited about this movie. I thought we were finally going to get like the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man back just in New York City. Maybe he's fighting Scorpion and Black Cat or some other just street level hero dealing with the Kingpin. I was just so excited to see this new journey for this character. But it really seems like we're just going to throw away the amazing ending of Spider-Man No Way Home. It seems like MJ and Ned in some capacity are going to be in Spider-Man 4, and no matter which route they take of making this a multiversal film, that's definitely just going to take away from this being a personal Spider-Man story, and it being wedged between two Avengers films make this even worse. It's going to be connected to so many things, which is just not what I want from my Spider-Man at this point. I'm hoping Marvel can come to some sort of agreement with Sony and kind of like a middle ground and make it kind of technically a multiversal film with the symbiote, and you can have the Venom from the Sonyverse in Spider-Man 4 and do the whole symbiote storyline. I think that would actually work pretty well, even though I'd still rather them do their own Venom story in the MCU. I would accept this as a middle ground. Because I do think this version of Venom, the entire design around him and Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brock, I do think it works very well. So if they do have to do something multiversal, I hope this is what they settle on. It would really suck to have to wait even longer than 2026 to get Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, but I almost wish that this thing didn't come out until after 2027 when we get Avengers Secret Wars, because that movie is most likely going to end all the multiversal stuff. So I kind of wish we had to wait longer to just get the personal story. Let me know. Maybe I'm overreacting to this. Do you think it's going to be good, amazing? What do you want them to do in Spider-Man 4? Let me know in the comments below.